one thing you can count on, two things for sure, is that nothing stays the same. So you better be able to position yourself to pivot. And that's exactly what we are finding ourselves having to do here in Bangkok, Thailand. If you're following the journey of Wendy and I as the Suitcase Sisters, you know that we found the perfect tutu in a beautiful condo building here in Bangkok, and we signed a 1-year lease. All right, so you know the pivot comes in when all of a sudden there is a leak in Wendy's bedroom and causes us to have, conversations with the landlord, with the building maintenance. What are you gonna do? So at the end of the day, we are having to move. And we were really bummed out about that particular pivot because, as I said, we found the perfect place. Her side of the apartment is completely enclosed. Mine is as well. And we share the common space, right? And that's the same configuration we were looking for. There was nothing else available in our building. So we went out with a couple of realtors and, we were getting discouraged because we weren't finding the same caliber of apartment that we wanted for the right price in the right area, so it was really just getting to be exhausting. Until one afternoon we're sitting and we're waiting for a Grab, which is the equivalent of Uber here. We're waiting and we run into the original building agent that we talked to back in September. And she's like, well, what are you guys doing here? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the conversation rolled around to we're waiting for a cab so that we can go look at a different apartment building. And she looked at us kind of stunned and said, well, why don't you take the apartment that you looked at originally, the other tutu that was available? And we had been told that that apartment was no longer an option. It wasn't available. Oh my goodness, the weight lifted immediately because, again, having to spend like a week, 10 days looking for the next apartment when you had already found the original best apartment. Oh man, it was just getting to be overwhelming, and it was causing stress within the household, right? We were so overjoyed to get this information. When we got back from the appointment, we went directly to that same apartment and looked at each other, scratching our heads like, why didn't we take this one to begin with? All right, for a lot of different choices. But all of that to say, everything is not going to be peaches and cream in this life, and you have to be willing and able to pivot. So to my sisters who are out there, just because you've made a decision on one thing does not mean that you can't change your mind, or you shouldn't change your mind. Or be prepared sometimes when life throws you a monkey wrench, right? Be prepared to pivot, which means you have to have additional funds. So don't come out here with no backup plan and no emergency fund, is what I want to preach to you today. We have to put down, of course, a security deposit, which is the equivalent of 1 month rent and 1 month security. So that's a total of 3 months that you need cash to be able to move into a new place. So again, we are very, very fortunate to have an agent that worked with us in getting our deposit, our security deposit, back in full. That was a question that we had. What happens to our security deposit? All landlords are not created equal. So we have one who understood what we were dealing with. He's trying to mitigate the situation in his property, but at the end of the day, we're not happy here, right? Because if there was leaks, then there has to eventually be mold, and nobody wants to deal with that. All right, so again, we were fortunate enough to have a very good and understanding landlord who is going to refund our complete deposit. So all we have to do is pay this month's rent. So today is December 1st. That means we're moving again, but hopefully for the last time over these 12 months, because again, we have signed a 12-month lease. So if you're interested in coming to Thailand and exploring Bangkok as an option for retirement, if you want to be, scouting the area, then I encourage you to follow my videos on YouTube and stay tuned, because I'm putting together something just for women like me, entering retirement phase and looking where in the world can I maximize my retirement dollars and still be able to live the lifestyle that I envision. I don't want to have to give up anything because I'm retired, right? Or I'm on fixed income now. So stay tuned for some exciting announcements in 2026. And as I said at the top of this video, be prepared for change. Be prepared mentally, emotionally, and financially to be able to pivot in your own best interest. All right, so this morning we are getting our mobility and stretch on with our personal trainer in the gym. See, things I don't want to have to give up, right? And then we will prepare for our move to the higher floor. So we're excited. It's a brand new apartment. Nobody's lived in it. That's a big damn deal for us. And so, yeah, stay tuned. I'll let you know how everything works out. Have a beautiful day. Peace and blessings wherever you may be.